Jeremiah Boucher, a commercial real estate investor with over 20 years experience. This show is designed to help you build your business, become a better real estate investor, and help you see opportunities that will keep you ahead of the competition. This is Finding Your Edge.
And welcome back to Finding Your Edge with me, Marty Grizzanti, and your host, Jeremiah Boucher. And Finding Your Edge is all about, where we discover our strengths, we refine our processes, and ultimately find our edge. Jeremiah, how you doing today, buddy?
What up, Marty?
What's going on
tonight? Big game.
It's a big game, boys and girls. If you don't know, Jeremiah is a Patriots fan. I'm a Bills fan, and there really isn't a bigger game for us. This is a must-win for the Bills. It feels like a lot more pressure. It feels like there's a lot more pressure on the Bills, though.
No. We need. You're gonna knock us out of playoffs. We got to win, man.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
It's a must-win for both teams. Must-win for both teams.
Is it up in Buffalo?
I think it is.
Yeah. How's the weather?
It is. So we got that at least. We got the home.
How's your weather? Is it cold as hell or what?
Cold as hell. It's probably it's definitely, I don't know if it's snowing, but it's not ideal. And I remember what happened last time Patriots. Well, before the last one, it was absolute shit show. I think your quarterback completed one pass and still won the game.
Yeah, I know. That was ridiculous. All right. Well, good luck tonight. We'll see.
Good luck tonight. All right, let's get to it. So, last time we talked about, be going on to different, to meetups. We talked a little bit about, what we learned from those conferences and, the wealth journey that, you and I are both on. Mine's, 10 years apart, but still the journey we continue. We talked a little bit about the market state of the union. Do you have any, since the last time we talked, was there anything that you wanted to talk up to the team about, talk to the people listening that you found that's been important that you've kind of noticed in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah. We'll keep it tight on this one. So, one, Marty, a great book, Relentless. You told me about it, didn't you? Or you know about it? Yeah.
Yes.
God damn, that is a good book. I'm almost through it. Good old Tim Grover. We heard him speak in Miami for a set real estate conference, and he brought it, man. Love that guy.
He's a cleaner. He's the definition of a cleaner.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a great book, and I'm a huge fan. I'm really glad. That's insane that you got to actually see him live. That must have been a treat.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Kobe's trainer, Jordan's trainer for 15 years. Tells you, it really gets you amped up, but really clear on rising to your highest standard, right? Elevating yourself to your highest potential. It's such a good message. And so I love the book. Everyone should get it. Really sets the bar on who you need to be, really just inspires each person to what I always believe in, and what's finding your edge is mastering your craft and excelling at whatever it is that your strength is. He highlights that, and getting great at your strength. What is the thing that you are uniquely different about? He said the best athletes and business people in the world are hyper-focused on that one thing that they can excel at better than everyone else, and then never deluding themselves that they're going to be great at anything else. Like that, you got to be that clear.
It's super difficult.
Yeah.
It's super difficult.
Yeah, so people should check it out. And then also heading to LA, we're leaving in about an hour. Got the whole team, all 30 people in the administrative office going up to the company retreat. So we're getting everyone together, rallying the troops, getting everybody on the same page, and really highlighting, what are some of the potential landmines next year, some of the challenges we're going to be up against. I believe this recession is not even started. I think it's going to get really tight out there and tough. And if people are walking around with a blindfold over their eyes, like nothing's going wrong. So debt markets are going to get challenging. I think there's going to be less investment where you can't exit on some assets because, no one's selling, and then there's money's not cheap enough to buy. So we'll see. That's just what I feel like is going on in the market. And then I want to really have this event to create camaraderie, to make sure, they understand the company's values, which is in turn is my values as an individual, and highlighting how each department operates so that everyone sees the business from a different perspective. And now they share, okay, this is how I fit in this role. This is how I fit in the system. I know you don't like the Patriots, Marty, but the system, the Patriot way, in terms of it's never one ego, never one person, never one prima donna that can dictate the culture of a team or the way that the team will play. It's the system where you always have 80 to 90% efficiency or whatnot behind the starting player, where you have a plug and play in that role, and we're going to play the system no matter what. I think that's a good. You might not always win, but you're definitely going to win more than you lose. And I really want to implement that in my company, where we have a lot of different players that can have, they're utility players that can play a couple roles and fill in, because not everybody's going to be available all the time. And key dependencies on people have been a real challenge for me. And you may see that, Marty, in the future, is as you grow your organization, you only have so many resources, and as you do that, you depend on certain people for a lot of activities in the company. But for us, I made the conscious investment to put a lot of money back into the company to have this scalability with this infrastructure where we can handle a lot of the operational, everything in the whole company, with having multiple people be able to deliver at the highest quality service to our investors and customers.
Yeah, that's what separates your company from a lot of others, and it's not just it's a firm, it's a real business firm, and how important is doing those company retreats to get everybody on the same page? Is it also important that, and I'm thinking of like as a CEO of a publicly traded company, right? Is it also important to have the employees have empathy for what the other roles are that they do? So like your marketing people have empathy for the people who are also the operations people. The operations people have empathy towards. Is that something that resonates with you? Is that actually a big part of it, or is it really just, hey, these are the goals and this is where we're trying to accomplish?
No, that's a major part of it. So the way that we implement the schedule, the second half of the day is we have a series of questions that we learned from Keith Cunningham's The 4-Day MBA and Plan or Get Slaughtered, his course in Austin. So we hand out a handout and we tailor these questions to our company, but each person has to answer them for 15, 20 minutes. Some of them are questions about themselves, just so we get to do funny questions. What's your spirit animal and all this silly stuff. And then the other side is, there's 4 questions. What are the key strengths in your department, or what are the key strengths that you bring, as a professional to your profession? And there's other questions there, but each person has to get up and share what that is. And then as a group, they have to have a breakout session and then come up with the collective answer of that department, so we know what are the strengths and the biggest weaknesses of this department, and what are the obstacles that we're going to and advantages that are available next year. That way, each person hears that perspective of the company, and I want to empower everybody to know, what's really going on, so we all know how we got to play our part. That's going to create success.
Yeah, that's super probably eye-opening for the C-suite executives and you on the team to really see that, because I'm sure some of this stuff you kind of need to kind of massage a bit before that big problem comes out, and that might be something you didn't even know, and that's such an important thing. I think a lot of people probably miss on that.
And I want to see how they perceive the company. Like, what I know, some people in the accounting department, they have no idea we develop. I mean, they know we've developed storage, but they don't really understand what that means. It's just numbers on a piece of paper, and operations doesn't quite understand how acquisitions work. So yeah, it's going to be helpful. And it's really about, like we always talk about relationships, and we want to solidify these relationships. And for me, as a leader, it's been very challenging, and I'm sure you're starting to grow into this, Marty, where you have to address conflict a lot. Yeah, and I have had a lot of challenges with different departments and heads and leaders and different areas of not only my company, but in outside the organization, where you have to be in some situations and you can't run away. That's something I learned and I put in the book, where you got to really face things head on. And I think that's why it's so important to get clear on what your individual mission and your purpose and your whole desire for what are you doing and why are you doing it, and understanding with clarity. because I have a lot of people counting on me that are investing a good portion of their savings or their investing portfolio. And I have to represent that. And I understand that responsibility. And this isn't a fucking commercial. You know what I mean? It's real life. And like, you have to, for me, I got to step up. And when a broker is trying to, justify that my retrade was ill-warranted, and I have to be, spot on and razor sharp with all the attorneys, the sellers, the counsel, and then their brokerage staff, that this is exactly why I did what I did. And this is the reasons, because I have a lot of people behind me, and who cares if I have $5 million in the bank or $10 million to deploy? Every single dollar needs to has accountability for it, because there has to be a return profile and a risk profile attached to that. So, I mean, and that to me, I really like that part of the business, because like Tim Grover says, pressure is a privilege. And, I like having the ball in my hand, because I earned the right to take the shot. And that to me is, good. I love that feeling. And, that's why we're athletes. I mean, we played it, and I love having that, minute left in the wrestling match. You take it down, and you may lose, but hey, you either give it or you give up. And that's a personal choice. So it's like, it feels so good to be able to compete at that level right now. And then the last point on that, Marty, is, being clear on exactly what I can do and can't do. And then, just like in the 50th Law, like the book with Robert Greene and 50 Cent, is like the most powerful tool in negotiation is just the ability to walk away. And know you have everything that you already need, and when to walk away. And for me, I just, I'm willing to lose in order to win. And that is how clear I need to be in these trying times, as economies and the whole landscape, the investment landscape, is changing.
Yeah, I think it's really nice to hear like those points in just coming at it, like you were saying, is like, I'm a fiduciary to not just my employees, and it's not just about me, it's about the investors who work with me, right? And every dollar, even though I have maybe a war chest, right? But every dollar needs to be earmarked for success. And it's really reassuring if anyone's listening to this that is thinking about investing with you, or just, your investors, or even just your employees. It doesn't matter. It's like, God, this guy is on a mission, and it's super clear. And that's why having these meetups are so good that you're about to do, is so that everybody's on the same page. And maybe ideally people go, hey, this isn't for me, Jeremiah. Like some of the employees, maybe they go, you know what? I didn't really want to do this. I don't want to sign up for that. And that would be, what a blessing that would probably be long-term to kind of weed those people out. Now, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, you're spot on, bud. You are spot on. I mean, you're going to find that on any team, right? Any company, anytime you're working with a collective group, some people will fade away, and, they have great skills and strengths, but they affect the culture in a way that you cannot sustain that energy in the company. And it's tough. It's really tough to have to make shifts and changes. And other times, some people can't handle the stress, and they can't handle the tension, and they can't handle the lack of, as a small business or entrepreneurial venture, the employees have to roll with the punches as the founder. I mean, sometimes things do not go as planned. I mean, that is what we are doing. We're all signed up for this, and there's perks, there's flexibility. Having a small company, we're working for a small company. I mean, working and having direct communication with me and the team, and be able to be flexible. But yeah, I see your smile. But I know it's like you have a plan, and like Mike Tyson says, you get punched in the face. Everyone has a plan until you get knocked in the face.
That's so freaking relevant, because as we meet with our employees, they're like, okay, so what's next, right? And, as management, as owners, I've always been told you need to have answers. And so that is so reassuring to hear that, hey, here's the vision. The vision's clear, right? But the day-to-day in front of me is not, right? I'm in a snowstorm here, and I can see right in front of me, but I can't see that further. I can't see so much further down. Now I know where I want to be, and I know that vision, that goal, and I can give that. But the day-to-day of like, hey, here, when are we going to be this, and when are we going to be that? It's super tough. I don't know how you deal with that, but if you have anything
I think strategy is fluid, and as long as you have an outline, like when I read Good Strategy, Bad Strategy, and that was the main book that Keith Cunningham recommends. And really, you have to have guiding principles. And this isn't about a plan that you stick to because the rigidity, like in the art of war, you can't. You have to play to the environment and the opponent. Like there is no way to win with the plan that you outline. I mean, very rarely, unless you severely overmatch the other person. So I think in business, it's very relative to that, right? Where you have to, once you know the parameters, though, we know within reason, what we're going after, and then we allocate our resources to buying storage that's mismanaged, that we know the rates, we know how to operate it, we know how to clean it up, we know how to make sure we can market it and lease it. Like to just go back to the fundamentals and get everyone rallied around that. It's boring, not sexy. It's just day in, day out, very repetitive. But then there's creativity in that, and the repetitiveness now is going to create opportunity because, like I told you last time, I think people fall away when it's not new and exciting, or it's very challenging right now to operate in commercial real estate. Let them fall away as we continue to pursue these opportunities as competition lessens.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic, and it's so good that these are things are happening right now. Like the goals for 2023 are already kind of being written down and established, and getting everybody on the same page, and not because this is when a lot of people, in my opinion, kind of fall asleep at the wheel around this time. But this is my favorite time, and this is like where I was able to separate Jeremiah, like from in my sales career and everything else. It's just like people were going and taking their time and but this is when we really pounded the phones. Yeah. I don't know. Is that about the same? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's it's not a coincidence. We did it December 2nd, tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's time to get everyone clear. And I love that, the fact that you did that. And for us, the goals are ideal, but now I've learned at this stage, having goals are good, but I don't want people to only look at the goal like this is it. Like we have to do this or not. I mean, we will adapt. I'm not going to go buy 60 million in assets just because it's a goal. I mean, sometimes you got to be patient, and sometimes you have to pivot and say, okay, if there's no deals there, I think there will be, but if there isn't, then we work on operations and we hold our breath, right? And we just be patient, be ready to strike, and don't change from the fundamentals of the strategy. Not letting the goal change the way that you think about what you need to do. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It really does, because I think some of the problems that we had last year is we had these goals written down, and so then you kind of, if you don't hit them, you feel like a failure, but it's like, well, we forgot about some of the other stuff that we did that we got better at. And maybe if we would have done those things, it actually would have been a step back, because we would just have done that just to do it. And that was not the smart thing, just to do it, to do it.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you got to learn how to, the ultimate battle is what we're trying to win. I mean, you could go buy a bunch of stuff and get the money, and you can all, somewhat run. It's just, am I putting myself in a bad position doing that? So the bigger picture is definitely what I'm there to communicate to people. And I think over the long haul, tying it back to real estate, if we do it the right way, it will create generational wealth. So it's very careful. We're going to be very, very prudent with the decisions that we make, because if we make the wrong decision, it's very hard to get out of it and what we do.
Yeah, no doubt. I think, like you were saying, it's very easy to, raise the money and buy something. Well, not easy, but it's very simple to do those things. It's tougher with making sure the management's done correctly, making sure the numbers work, and it's not just this year. It's a 5, 10-year, 15-year play. I know you got to wrap up. So anything else you want to, leave people with, other than, hey, this is going to be something that we try to do on a bi-weekly basis, maybe monthly basis, and just stick around for the journey.
Yeah. I hope people do. And I love doing this, Marty. I think the words I want to share, it's just, this has been a hell of a week, man. I'm telling you. So I think people, I'm just going to be real candid and honest. And it's as the leader, to be the quarterback, to be the guy that is running the show. There's a lot of pressure on you. And as in the past, I would break down with some of that pressure. I would let habits come in, or I would let emotions come and weaken me at that time. And that's okay. It happens sometimes. But I just feel the change in myself. And the challenge is, and this is like a deep emotional feeling of, of course I want people to like me and I want to like them. And it's just the challenge is you can't always be liked. I'm telling you, man, if you get in this business and it's a real, it's a real world business, and friendship is one thing and other things are business. And when that gets in the way, it's tough, man. And it's, you've got to be hard to a lot of people, and you got to be direct and real, and they might not see things from my perspective, but I have a lot more right now than that I'm responsible for outside of myself. And it's to have those conversations and be somewhat intense and direct, and at times aggressive, and at times you have to really get into the middle of it. It's just part of the process of being a business owner. So I hope everyone in here, you can't run away from conflict, and you've got to get out in the open, and you've got to address it. And you've got to, if you have something in the culture that's affecting the overall performance of, and you can feel it, the energy when it's there, you've got to make the change. So I just, as the new year comes upon us, now's that time where you got to look at who are you being as a leader, and coming from a place of empathy and honesty, but actually you got to be very strong and direct. And, Marty, that's a different thing. As a young guy in my 20s, I wasn't able to do that very well, and I didn't really build up the thick skin, because it gets at you over time. But, so I think everybody in there, I feel the leaders and the entrepreneurs and the investors' pain, because it's quite sometimes a lonely road to live this life where a lot of people look for you, and there's a lot of conflict because they don't agree with you. But you just got to believe in yourself. You got to have faith in whatever it is that you believe in, and not only, your family is great. You want to take care of your family. You want to take care of your friends. But you really got to have a deep conviction inside that you're doing this, for you and for the right reasons. You're doing this to help, be who you need to be in this life. So I'm just ranting, but you know what I mean, man? It's just, you got to dig deep, and it's got to come from a place that's real inside yourself to be able to handle all this.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you said it before, but it really just is. It's a privilege. What we're, and so, but in order to be that guy that's taking that winning shot, you're going to have to be in people's faces at times. But don't mistake my passion for anger, right? At times. And so it's important to remember those things, and it's important to also have the tough conversations. And that's very pertinent to me, because that is something that I like to be liked, but it's more important that I'm doing the right things for, my employees and my business than just to be liked. And sometimes it's, you have to find that out through some punches to the face, but that's business for you, baby. And I think that we'll end with that. Anyway,
lean into it, right? Lean into this comfort.
Lean into it.
All right, man.
I appreciate it, man. Great talk.
Good luck tonight.
All right. Good luck to you.
What are you thinking? You want $100 on the game?
Let's do it. Bills straight up. Bills straight up.
All right, man. I'll see you around.
Yep. See you, buddy.
For more information on commercial real estate investing, go to patriotholdings.com. Thanks for listening to Finding Your Edge.